Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're talking about how Devin White was a healthy inactive for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Green Bay Packers. Joining me, because if he didn't, I would die, is Evan. Hey Evan, how you doing, man?
Good, good. Yeah, I'm doing good. And yeah, this is gonna be a fun topic to talk about, of course. Devin White's always a popular player to talk about, but now we have some interesting things, and Todd Bowles spoke a few minutes ago, actually. So we're gonna be able to get that quote out as well, for what he said. But yeah, let's get right into it.
So, Devin White had practiced all this past week leading up to the Green Bay Packers game. I thought he was going to make his return. You thought he
Hmm.
was going to make his return. But guess what, Evan? It didn't happen. So,
Hmm.
what did happen? Because you have some info on this situation from people who had been reporting about it, Rick Stroud and whatnot. So kind of what info do we have on this Devin White being a healthy and active?
Yeah, so obviously, the big thing was Stacey Dales, who works for NFL Network, came out and said that per source, I'm told Bucs linebacker Devin White will be inactive today. It is not injury related, as White was able to practice this week. So that sparked, a firestorm, of course. Oh, he's a healthy scratch. He's a healthy scratch. Um, After the game, Todd Bowles had come out and said that White basically told the team, he wasn't 100% good to go. And that, that was it. That was the reason, they decided, okay, we're going to hold you out then. And Rick Stroud came out later Sunday night and basically said his sources had told him that the Bucs were planning on starting KJ Britt over Devin White anyway. And when Devin White heard this, he told Todd Bowles that he could not go. Rick Stroud also noted that sources have told him his attitude has not sat well with some coaches and teammates. So obviously, some interesting things there. Todd Bowles spoke a little bit ago. This is from Pure Report. Todd Bowles says White Friday on or Saturday said that he couldn't play, so KJ Britt started. That was it. Bowles refutes that White said he couldn't go after Britt was named the starter this week. So if you read between the lines, though, even Greg Allman even noted that if Devin White if Devin White was inactive due to his foot injury, right, which is what Todd Bowles is saying, right, it was he could felt like he couldn't go. I don't know why the Bucs didn't push back against Stacey Dale's reporting Sunday in pregame that it wasn't injury related. They could have said that wasn't the case and specifically didn't. Probably because it wasn't injury related. I think you've seen the last of Devin White in Tampa Bay. I do not expect Devin. I'm just gonna be flat out here. I don't expect Devin White to play another game for the Buccaneers. I expect him to be on another team next year. And I just think that's it. I think they want to get a look at KJ Britt. And honestly, KJ Britt's played fantastic filling in for Devin White. The Bucs are 3-0 without Devin White in the starting lineup. So as far as White's status with the team goes, I think that is it, honestly. But it is interesting. I think Todd Bowles, what he's saying, and many people are probably going to say, oh, he's lying. He's probably trying to save a little bit of face here. Um, but it's pretty clear to me that it's just like Greg Allman said. They could have said, if it was an injury, they could have said, oh, he's not, he practiced, but the foot's still not there. But they didn't. They said it's not injury related. So it was a coach's decision. Why? And I think it's probably because the Buccaneers have decided that they will be moving on from Devin White.
Oh, he's done. I mean, he's done. I mean, bro, you get, and this was something that we talked about, the idea of even whenever Devin White came back, are they going to pull a Matt Filer and keep the guy who's been playing well in? And it seemed like that was going to be the case, and Devin White said, "Nah, I'm good." And the Bucks were like, "Okay, cool, we're good too." So it's interesting, right? I don't think Devin White's going to get released. I
No,
don't.
no, no, not. There's only 3 weeks left. Like, is at most maybe four if they play a playoff game, but like, he's not gonna get cut. No.
No, and I don't even necessarily know if he's going to stay a healthy inactive moving forward. Just because, like, it's possible for sure, but if you need bodies, at the linebacker position, maybe they at least keep him active. But Devin White may say like, "Cool, I'm not. You might as well just put me in active because I'm not going to be here." And this is the peak, right? This is what essentially the boiling point that everybody was expecting or waiting to see happen, where Devin White, his attitude, whatever it may be, boiled over, and the team finally took, had enough. Enough's enough,
Yeah.
right? And you finally just hit that boiling point, and it's in the form of Devin White being a healthy and active. It's in the form of him being benched. And his time in Tampa is done, folks. Point blank, simple as that. His time in Tampa is done. He's not going to be a Buccaneer next year.
No.
Um, what's going to be really interesting is to see Devin White's market now.
Yeah. Yeah, and Scott Reynolds, the Pewter Report, actually put out his 2 point conversion column yesterday, and we mentioned a few things. Like said, in fact, there are rumors that the Bucs actually attempted to trade him at the trade deadline, but found no takers, not even for a seventh round pick. And then he said that he reported on December 1st for Pewter Report that the Bucs were not going to re-sign him, and then he also thinks that White will be lucky to get a 1 year prove-it deal worth $4 million elsewhere next year. It's one thing to put bad film out there in a contract year, and White has plenty of that. It's another thing to be benched in a contract year. And that's true. I mean, to be benched or be a healthy scratch in a contract year in such a critical year, especially a year where entering it, you requested a trade because you didn't get the contract you wanted, definitely does not sit good for Devin White and is not a good look for him. So, yeah, I would expect a prove it deal for Devin White. I don't think any NFL team is going to give him the contract he wants without him potentially earning it for another season. But yeah, it will not be in Tampa Bay. Like even if it's a 1 year, $4 million prove it deal like Reynolds says there, it will not be in Tampa Bay.
No, I mean, and now you look, KJ Britt's been playing fantastic, like you said. Servatier Dennis is still there also. Like the Bucks, and to be honest, these are guys that the Bucks have to get looks at, right?
Mhm.
Because Levante David still has an expiring contract also.
And I mean, Levante David's not going to play forever. Levante David's getting up there in age, and I think it's sort of going to be a year-to-year thing with him now. And I'm sure that I know the Bucks would love to have Levante David back in Tampa Bay, but we'll see if A, Levante wants to be back in Tampa Bay, or B, if Levante even wants to continue playing football. So yeah, it is important to get a look at some of these guys.
Yeah, and I'll end it with this. Like Evan, how did things get this bad? Like how did they get to this point where it just degraded so quickly over the course of one season where things just went to hell so quick?
Yeah, I think it started with his play. It started with Devin White, his inconsistency, on the football field first and foremost, and then I think it all sort of boiled over with I think his contract demands, which we don't know exactly what it was reported to be. It was rumored to be, 5 years, $100 million. That's what it was rumored to be, but that was never confirmed by anybody. But the Bucks probably looked at his contract demands and basically laughed at them. And then after that, I think the Bucks had pretty much soured on him once that trade request came in. And it created a distraction that the Buccaneers just simply did not need. They decided to hold on to him, which, hey, maybe they tried to trade him. We don't know. Maybe right when he requested that trade, maybe they tried to deal him and nobody was interested. Because look, people in the NFL, these GMs, they talk, right? And they talk to each other about certain players, or, somebody, maybe a team will call Jason Light this offseason and say, hey, we're interested in Devin. What's going on there? And Jason Light's going to tell you the honest truth. And Rick Stroud's report of that he's sort of been irritating teammates and stuff is not surprising, but it is noteworthy. And Scott Reynolds had also said that even in that locker room, um, that he has become one of the least popular players. He said he didn't get paid in the offseason, so he wanted out. He didn't get the start on Sunday at Green Bay, so he didn't want to play. Multiple sources have told me that White has become one of the least popular players on the team this year because of his play and his attitude. His play is one thing, right? The play is one thing. You can struggle on the football field. The attitude is another, and I think the attitude is what really soured the Bucs on Devin White. And if you're trying to build a culture, a winning culture, a healthy culture, you can't have a guy like Devin White in your locker room. So I think that's where this all started. I think it started last year, just with his play on the football field, but then I think it developed into him still thinking in his mind he was worth way more than he wanted. And then the way he went about it when he didn't get his way, instead of working his butt off, he wanted out. And I think it all sort of snowballed from there.
Yeah, now we find ourselves at this point where Devin White, he's done. I mean, point blank simple as that, folks. There's no other way to put it. Um, and we'll see if he's active. We'll see if he even plays again for the Bucs. Do you see that being a thing, Evan? Me personally, right now, I think he's shut down for the year.
Yeah, I don't foresee him playing in another game in a Buccaneers uniform. I think the next time you'll see Devin White will be in 2024, and it'll be on some other football team. It's not going to happen this year, I don't think.
So, folks, let us know your thoughts and opinions about this situation down in the comments section below. We would love to hear it. Thank you again so much to Evan for being on. It is greatly appreciated. And yeah, let us know your thoughts and opinions about Devin White. But as always, guys, we'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.